computer, boy.
Good out there, YouTube family. Hit that like, share, subscribe, tap that notification bell so you get that notification when I'm dropping this hip hop heat. Man, a whole lot been going on this week ever since Shannon Sharpe got hit with that silver suit. Yeah, she wanted $50 million. Shannon Sharpe say he down for the fight. He gonna fight at tooth and nail until the end of time, but man, it's getting worse and worse about a day. Now, you know Shannon Sharpe good friends with homeboy Stephen A. Smith, right? Yeah, you know, them boys real good friends. Even helped them get the job or put in a good word for them to get the job at ESPN. But ever since those allegations came out, Stephen A. Smith been showing his loyalty to ESPN and Disney full steam ahead and not showing Shannon Sharpe no love at all. How you went from just being friends, you ain't taking up for your buddy, but you know what? It ain't on him to take up for Shannon Sharpe right now. It's on Shannon Sharpe right now to understand that he was wrong in everything he did in the situation he put himself into with this young 19, 20-year-old woman. Make it make sense. Let's get to see what Stephen A. had to say. Stephen A. shares his insight on how Disney is choosing to handle the Shannon Sharpe current legal situation and makes it clear he doesn't believe Shannon Sharpe would or assault anybody. Bro, some of the people that come out and this stuff come out on them is regulars. Could be the person standing right next to you. He may be a pedo. We don't even know. You don't even know. What people do behind closed doors will never come to light until somebody exposes it. Just like this woman exposed Shannon Sharpe for doing all this tricking out here in the world, trying to take control of the young mind. Understand what you're hearing and seeing. I'm going to let Stephen A. tell you about the rest. It's already up.
A lot of people were looking for me to say something. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to speak to one's innocence or one's guilt about something I have absolutely positively no knowledge of whatsoever. Do I believe that Shannon Sharpe is guilty of what he has been accused of? Absolutely not. That is my personal opinion. The brother that I've come to know, I don't believe would assault or rape anybody. And I'm going to state that emphatically. But just as emphatically, I'm going to remind everybody it is my opinion because of what I feel about him. Not in any way implying that I know a damn thing beyond that, because I don't know. I've seen the text messages released by his lawyer, who, by the way, I don't think has been impressive in this at all, because some of the information that was let out to the public, I have no idea why a lawyer would advise such a thing, but that's a different subject for another day. And we're allowed to deduce from an opinion perspective what we believe and what we don't, so long as we concede that we have no way of knowing definitively what the truth is. What I can speak about is the fact that this three-time Super Bowl champion and this Hall of Famer, who emphatically stated to me over the phone how innocent he is of these allegations that have been levied against him, insisting repeatedly that anything you read, anything you see, anything you hear was fully and totally consensual. In the same breath, what's inescapable is that without us knowing all the merits, he was working with Disney, where I've worked since 2003, excluding my departure from 2009 to 2011, when I was gone for those 2 years. Outside of that, I've been at Disney since October of 2003. I know this place. I know the worldwide leader that is ESPN, who's under the umbrella of Disney. And it wasn't difficult for me to figure out what was transpiring. As I sit here before you today discussing this matter, ESPN and Disney have a wait and see attitude when it comes to whatever evidence they may learn about this entire situation involving Shannon Sharpe from a legal and from a civil perspective. What they didn't need as it pertains to those two things that I just mentioned, they didn't need any definitive evidence at this particular moment in time about all of that stuff. Once all the things Shannon Sharpe's lawyer put out there, it was uncomfortable to listen to, and it was not something that Walt Disney once associated with its brand. So to have him on the airwaves while all of that stuff was put out there was not something that Disney was going to take. That is what I mean when I say I'm not surprised.
All right, we gonna cut the clip right there, man. Look, listen, a lot of stuff that Shannon Sharpe lawyer said and did, and him coming out speaking out on Twitter and all this Instagram posts and the text messages and coming out saying, hey, it's another video, it's 10 minutes long, they may drop 30 minutes of it. That's all too much for Shannon Sharpe. See, when you get allegations like that, the best thing to do so you don't lead into telling on yourself or making yourself look bad is to keep your mouth quiet and let your lawyer do the talking, my boy. And for your lawyer to stoop to the level of putting out those text messages to defend you, this public, this ain't the courts. The public ain't the one gonna judge if Shannon owed that woman some money or damages, or if Shannon did something wrong. Man, the way this thing looking right now, Tony Busby, being the man that he is, he gonna keep applying pressure after pressure every day on Shannon Sharpe. That's why he had to leave ESPN. And that's what Stephen A. Smith speak on. And the whole time Stephen A. Smith been on ESPN, you ain't heard nothing about no scandal. You probably heard that he lied about his college basketball career, or that he lied that he met this person, or he was cool with this person right here in New York or Harlem or wherever. But you ain't never heard nothing about this man that was going to be detrimental to his character. Understand what you hearing and seeing. Get in the comments. Let me know how you feel. It's already up. Alright, we gonna cut the clip right there, man. Look, listen, a lot of stuff that Shannon Sharpe lawyer said and did, and him coming out speaking out on Twitter and all this Instagram posts and the text messages and coming out saying, hey, it's another video, it's 10 minutes long, they may drop 30 minutes of it. That's all too much for Shannon Sharpe. See, when you get allegations like that, the best thing to do so you don't lead into telling on yourself or making yourself look bad is to keep your mouth quiet and let your lawyer do the talking, my boy. And for your lawyer to stoop to the level of putting out those text messages